this morning, drinking my orange juice, and I see this stuff as I'm watching the morning TV. And then I hear this.
The FBI received information about a comment made on a YouTube channel. The comment simply said, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter." No other information was included with that comment, which would indicate a time, location, or the true identity of the person who made the comment. The FBI conducted database reviews, checks, but was unable to further identify the person who actually made the comment. Again, as a native South Floridian, my heart goes out.
Say to myself, how did this happen? How is it that we're in 2018 now? We've got smartphones that can do everything under the sun when it comes to technology, and they fit in the palm of our hand. You know, we've got tracking, we've got satellites, we've got everything possible. I can go on the internet and watch one video on YouTube on, you know, an air fryer, and for the next month I'm gonna have advertisements on the side of my browsers for trying to sell me an air fryer. But you're gonna try and tell me that the FBI had the information that this guy was unstable and wasn't able to do anything about it, wasn't able to track the guy down? But yet somehow today we're able to put yesterday we're able to put two and two together and find out that it was the same guy. And then I saw President Trump put up a tweet yesterday talking about, you know, basically how, you know, his heart was with the victims, and, you know, this is a tragedy and we're going to get through this. And the liberal media actually had the nerve to sit there and insult him and talk about how, oh, it was the same generic tweet he put up when the Texas church shooting happened. And then, of course, I saw this. Yeah, Trump put up that quote, and he sat there and said how he nailed it right on the head. And he said, you know, so many warning signs, and yet nothing was done. You know, basically stating this could have been avoided. You know, and the media sat there, and in the midst of this tragedy, they're sitting there and they're taking their shots at the president for, you know, how dare he not bring up gun control. You know, all the liberals are screaming right now, gun control, gun control, gun control. Yet the fact of the matter is there's already laws in place that if they were followed correctly, this guy would have never bought a gun. They state he bought this legally. Well, guess what? If, you know, something had happened where it had been brought up and put on record that he had mental issues or that, you know, he had violent tendencies, guess what? He would have instantly been denied for that gun. But because nobody stepped up, you know, the FBI had the information. The FBI, you know, that's got more power to investigate than, you know, just about anybody out there, knew about this guy, knew the guy put up a post stating he was going to be a school shooter, and they did nothing about it. They supposedly couldn't find the guy, which is incredibly hard to believe on my end. But you've got the media sitting there pushing more gun control. You know, they're more worried about banning this, a chunk of plastic, steel, and aluminum, than they are actually getting anybody any help. And maybe you know, maybe next time we catch the person before it happens. You know, they're trying to say that in this year alone there's been 18 school shootings, and it was, you know, I think to myself, there's 45 days in this year so far. That means every 2.5 days there's supposedly been a school shooting. And I'm sorry, I haven't heard anything of it. You know, I've asked multiple people. I must have said to 10 people today who have brought that up. I've said to them, like, give me a list. Give me a list of all these shootings. They don't exist. They don't exist, you know. And finally, the one news agency brought up a list, and they classified, you know, oh, well, there was only deaths in, I think, like 2 of them. You know, and a couple of them, you know, they classified as a suicide attempt or something like that, or, you know, something completely unrelated to an actual active shooter situation. But I guess it makes a good headline. you know. And this is the problem: is right now everybody's on their soapbox about gun control, but nobody's actually paying attention to the real agenda here. The fact of the matter is, this could have been avoided. This kid could have gotten help years ago. He was supposedly bullied in school, you know, and I'm quite sure that, you know, at some point somebody, a teacher or an adult, knew about it and they did nothing. And this is what's wrong right now in our world today, is nobody wants to get involved anymore with anybody else, because we live in a society where, you know, I just heard the other day where somebody found somebody's cell phone and returned it to them like the next day because they found it, and they were able to return it to them because they were able to go on the phone and they saw, you know, they called, you know, one of the main numbers and said, hey, I've got your cell phone, and returned it to them. And next thing you know, they're suing the guy that found the phone because he didn't turn it in to the police. He merely returned it to the person. And that's the problem, is we live in that kind of society right now where, you know, you try and do the right thing and you end up getting sued for it, and everybody's afraid to step up and do the right thing. You know, people are afraid to say, hey, you know what, you might need some help, or this person might need some help, and they're worried, you know, they're going to get sued, or they're going to get charged with something, or they're going to get told that it's discrimination, or, you know, whatever. We're in such a PC world right now where this is happening. You know, they go on and on about they don't want school shootings to be a mainstream thing, which I can agree with. You know, nobody does. But the fact of the matter is, we as a nation have had guns for over 200 years, and this school shooting situation hasn't started, you know, it hasn't been a thing for not even 30 years. You know, where we've had terms like active shooter and school shooting and things like that. So, you know, this is the point I'm trying to make today, and this is why I'm making this video, and I'm coming out and I'm saying, you know, we need to have the discussion about actually helping people that, you know, if they have issues like this, then, you know, help them get the help they need. Don't try and disarm law-abiding citizens. You know, every single cop in the pictures you looked at for the last 2 days have had one of these in a chest rig, you know, with 30 round mags in them. You know, but you notice that they're not talking about disarming cops. So that's my point. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm sure this will end up being an interesting topic as the days go on. And as I said, my heart does go out to the people involved, and I'm, you know, deeply sorry to hear that something like this has happened once again, and it is a tragedy. But, you know, hopefully we can move towards not avoiding it and preventing it the next time. Have a good day.